between 8-Bit and SadlyItsBradley.
All right, so in the beginning, we did see SadlyItsBradley going with the troop units, the troop trucks. 8-Bits went, you know, that 7 aircraft. So we'll see how this start begins. It may differ a little bit. Right now, we do see both of them this time going that artillery and the heavy tank. But SadlyItsBradley is not going to support that artillery with the heavy tank, but put down that troop unit.
And we can have all the infantry, all the transport, and the heavy machine gun may be ready at the later stages of the game. Still too early. But both players unlocking into the first set of units. Okay, no air focus this time. We're back to all the artilleries, having the defense set up first.
So SadlyItsBradley already has that upper hill on the left side. We have 8-Bits on the left side. We have each artilleries just basically defending that one lane that the basic troops or the units, if you want to say, spawn in and walk through.
And you have all the pressure from the bazookas. Both players are actually going for very similar strategies in terms. A lot more money just spent by Sadly.
Yeah, we have SadlyItsBradley on the right. You can see bottom right. We have 2 bazooka troop trucks, whereas 8-Bits does not have any. So if this goes on, SadlyItsBradley will have more basic units spawning. So it might just get a little bit more lane control. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, we do have few fighters. We have 109s just in the air.
Okay.
But what Ninja actually focused here is that big airplane in the air. I think he wants to go really hard.
We do see Sadly's bazooka units coming through here. Like I said, these bazookas, yeah, maybe just having 1 or 2 is not going to be a big deal. But when it starts stacking up, look at that. Look at those bazooka units go through. He was getting pushed up the hill, but now he is the one walking down the hill.
As you just saw that micro control there, having one plane, fighter plane, just moving all the troops. That's important. Ninja's got a great setup from the top. Artillery keep on shooting wherever the troop is going to hit. But on the other side, similar pressure from Bradley. Let's see the differences coming though. We do see a lot of difference in number, what they are focusing. So Ninja's going for really heavy, expensive units, as you can see, for the plane and the heavy tanks. But Bradley going for the smaller ones with a lot more number. But if you have a lot more number, it means you have a lot more things to control at the same time. Let's see how good the micro is.
Yeah, Bradley has 3 infantry truck troops spawning right now with 2 extra bazooka troop unit trucks as well. So right now, SadlyItsBradley, even though even though he loses his lane control, it won't matter. But right now, like I said, so many extra units pushing through. He is getting out of his base, easy peasy.
Already having the anti-air setup from Ninja, just in case the planes come all the way towards his base and remove all the spawning troops. And as long as if you have the few tanks along with that anti-air, you are pretty safe. So basically, if you have those set up, you don't even need to control. So I think that's exactly what both players are trying to go for.
Right now, 8-Bits, you see the heavy tank on top of the hill with the anti-air. Unfortunately, that heavy tank on top of the hill won't attack the basic units because of the terrain, the height difference. That heavy tank should also be paired up with an artillery, because if you don't have an artillery like SadlyItsBradley does right now on top of this hill, it's not going to attack any of the units that are walking up. They're just getting a free pass.
But look at this. This is actually the moment, I think, both players, because they can actually take a look at the map all the time. Bradley's setting for some secret attack from the side, not really putting down the tank directly into the lane. I think really saving up the money. Really saving up the money, getting everything together, and having one gigantic push can actually finish the game in just a matter of minutes.
Yeah, right now I think I just saw 8-Bits kind of move his troop truck by accident into the lane of the foot soldier, so he had to pull it back real quick. But right now, SadlyItsBradley is pressuring 8-Bits. Other than this one artillery causing a little bit of problem for SadlyItsBradley, he might want to get rid of this one artillery tank that you see on your screen. But other than that, we have 2 heavy tanks still on top of that hill, not doing too much damage to the troops just walking by.
Slowly, both players are bringing everything that they have. Bradley almost lost that heavy one on top. Had it go down into the lane side, but already the defense is well set up by Ninja here.
Alright, so like I said, I think this heavy tank on top of the hill, this definitely has to be an artillery. He is going to get pushed back if he doesn't decide to change or support that heavy tank with an artillery, because he's getting pressured like crazy right now.
There are some anti-airs, but they're basically placed not really moving for either side, so I think we are switching into the fighter planes. We're seeing 2 from each side. There are too many tanks on the ground. You do want to go snipe on them, where the anti-air tank is not at exactly.
All right, here. So
lots of tanks means there will be a fighter plane coming. So anti-air, good setup here.
All right. Well, it seems like they don't want to. Well, at least 8-Bits has another thing in mind, because he's just putting heavy tanks on top of that hill instead of artillery. So he's allowing SadlyItsBradley to get out. But look at this. Now the flank lane for the money. The supply was taken by 8-Bits.
Nice. And that's where you get all the money together for the extra set. Artillery, once you break through that line, that's important. And Bradley right now going for that attack. They are strong. 2 big expensive units going back and forth. Ninja's also got his defense. But the artillery goes down, so this is the time where Bradley can push a little further, especially with the ground units. But too many troops, too many bazookas from Ninja just spawning over and over again. Just a few more bazookas.
Oh, wow. But Ninja, 8-Bit Ninja right now has 5 heavy, super heavy tanks, the expensive one. You can see on the bottom, he has 5. SadlyItsBradley only has 1. Maybe he needs a little bit more artillery, more range to get rid of 8-Bits' heavy tanks right now, because if those 5 tanks push with the troops and the bazooka units, I don't know, the towers might just go down.
So I think we have a difference in focus. One more bazooka coming out from Bradley. So overall, the pressure will be released over the time, but what Ninja is doing, he's keeping all those ones alive, but the bomber plane has come from Bradley, and Ninja's gotta move all his ground troops, and with 2 shots, they will go down. So losing some pressure, well, and that's a lot of money though. Having that one great dive bomber coming out, all the shots connecting really well.
Right now, yeah, we definitely see 8-Bits trying to pressure right now. He has come out of his cave. He was getting pressured up until maybe like a couple minutes ago. He was defending his hill. We see his tanks kind of damaged here from defending, but he is trying to push out with the bazooka and the heavy tanks that he has poured out right now. Still 5 alive, so I guess in terms of unit count, 8-Bits Ninja is still on top. He is making his way out. We'll see how SadlyItsBradley reacts to this. Oh, we hear the nukes.
And I think it may be the time where we see a lot of tanks being destroyed, but that wasn't actually the biggest one, I would say.
It seems like 8-Bits actually moved the tanks out of the way. There were, I think, 3 heavy tanks up there on the where the nuke hit.
And look at the pressure coming from Bradley. All those tanks. Ooh, but they're kind of clumped up together. So they're taking damage before they even get to shoot.
Gone. Bradley's flank definitely did not work. He was caught.
And look at that. Bradley only having an anti-air. Falling back right now. Ninja really going up the hill onto the red right side. All these bazookas, they will just keep on pressuring. But if you lose that many tanks all the way together, just when you try to attack, you end up wasting all of your units. That's painful.
Definitely is painful. We do have that one tank on the side, doing the flank, getting rid, and buying some time for Apits to push up the hill. We'll see if SadlyItsBradley decides to go another way, but if that's not the case, SadlyItsBradley will get slowly pushed up his hill, up his terrain, and if that is taken over, it's not going to be a good scene.
It's going to be tough as we keep on seeing few tanks being lost, and not too much focus from the BF fighters, because both of these players are trying to control their zone once again.
We do see it's Apits kind of pushing up, like I said before. SadlyItsBradley is unable to retaliate yet. We have one of his tanks here idle. He did destroy the other tank that was on the mark for the supply. However, this very expensive strong...
Sadly's anti-air all the way on the back?
No, that's Apits.
Okay, it had to be because it wasn't attacking 100%. But for a second, I thought it was one of the blue ones.
Okay. So now we finally see SadlyItsBradley bringing out his artillery tanks to do the long-range attacks. And now you see, right after he pulled that out, he is able to come out of his base. Finally, he was getting pressured. He comes out, but we do see Apits' artillery shooting back, kind of holding SadlyItsBradley right in front of his base, unable to come out.
Yes. First, when you think it's easier to control if you just drop one, see the arrows in the lane, the tanks will just follow the troops, but that's exactly what you don't want to do. You want all the tanks to be having a good setup, making sure they have good pathing for the next go-to. Okay. Sadly, got the reinforcements. Full of money now.
Yep, you better start pumping out units, because even without the supply, Apits still has a lot more tanks, a lot more heavy tanks than him. Look at this. Even Apits, not even getting the supply, he is able to push out so many units. You can see right now in terms of numbers, the basic units, yeah, SadlyItsBradley has a little bit more, a couple more, but in terms of the heavy units and the expensive units, Ninja definitely has a lot more going on himself.
He's been stacking a lot of those heavy, expensive tanks.
Nuke sound once again.
Yeah, it's time to move, Bradley. Oh, it's actually on the other side from Ninja. Maybe Ninja? I think he took some damage. We saw one tank going down. You can't move everything together.
Here we go. Ninja starting to push up Bradley's hill once again. So right now, we haven't seen Bradley go all the way to Ninja's base, except for that one time early game. So after that, it's been Ninja just pressuring Bradley this whole time.
Ninja has a lot of expensive ones, but if you are losing everything together, like that into the high hill, you do want to control that high hill zone, of course, but if you stack 2 units, it will both take the damage. So those are the things that you do have to consider when you're pushing all the way through. Because if you just let the AI go, and have the tank just go straight through, they will clump up together and take all the damage. That's a lot more money wasted, basically. So Ninja was trying to pressure onto the hill to the other side, but it's not really going through really well. Alright, this is the player. Of course, the players are moving around, so the observing can get blocked like that for a second.
Bradley, even though he has so many more troop trucks placed, he has 4 bazooka troop trucks and 4 infantry troop trucks, he's unable to come out. I guess now he's starting to kind of walk down his hill, but look at this. Apits gets nuked in his base.
I think 2 bazooka troops actually went down. Or it was just enough, just around, so that it didn't really get too many units all the way together. Because both of the players are stacking up so much inside of the base, once it leaves the base, you can't control everything. I think they're trying to stack up for a major attack here.
Well, 8-Bit, like I said, has been pressuring, and even though 8-Bit Ninja has been the one to pressure SadlyItsBradley, he still has more units. He still has a lot more basic infantry units, more bazooka units spawning. But like I said, it's weird because SadlyItsBradley had a lot more troop trucks placed, and he's still losing because of the terrain control. 8-Bit Ninja has that upper hill advantage where he has taken over in front of SadlyItsBradley, so he can't.
Ooh, Bradley's first tower gone on the other side of the map, and Ninja keeps on going. The second tower is almost half the damage, and the bomber comes to clean it up. But I think that was more than enough damage. The first actual real tower damage taken.
Exactly. We have one of the side flank entrances tower down. We do have the main entrance being pressured by 8-Bits non-stop. We've just been seeing the entrance of SadlyItsBradley's base basically like 80% of this game. So right now, Bradley, he just wants to get out of his base. He wants to show you guys how 8-Bit's base looks like, and we haven't been able to see that in the past 10 minutes.
It will take some time, because not just because he lost the tower, but gladly, but not bad because it's actually not on the side where the units spawn all the time. So his defense is still there. It's just that he just has to be careful for extra set of those sneaky attacks coming down from Ninja.
So we are basically, in terms of troop trucks, Bradley only has one more infantry truck, so it's not a big difference anymore. Bradley used to have 4-4, now only 3-2. However, we still have a lot more heavier tanks coming on the from 8-Bits, and Bradley's trying his best to get out of his down this hill, but the pressure is keep coming. The pressure is ongoing. Bradley has to find another way to get out of his base right now.
These are the automatic setups, but Ninja's cutting off the pressure from the troop with those tanks. Move out.
Ooh!
Bradley's...
He got
all those units!
Just gone. One troop truck, I think maybe I think 2 tanks maybe, but that nuke was huge. It did the damage to the towers as well. And that big heavy tank on the left you see from 8-Bit Ninja is just being a nuisance. I don't know. Bradley needs to get rid of that. That's on his side of base. If he can't control that, that's gonna just be causing problems. Or if he can't take that out, Bradley can do the same flank on the other side for himself, because they both have the same flanks. They both have the same terrain. So I don't know. Right now, 8-Bit just pressuring too much for Bradley to handle.
Yes. All the tank destroyers are expensive, of course, but getting that through into the tower is what is going to be the key, and what both players are trying to do by having these sneaky attacks onto the side lanes. Ninja, good defense. Here comes the faster one, the more... Never mind. Just gets one-shot bombed. And that's why it's an expensive one, of course. Makes sense. Tank destroyer just destroying everything. Really good controls coming out from both players. And a good setup to remove the pressure from the troops, from Ninja. And I think that's exactly what Sadly needs to get rid of right now.
Alright. So right now, still, like I said, 8-Bit just pressuring with macro. The amount of unit that he's been pumping out is immense. Bradley is just trying to stay alive right now, but slowly his tower HPs are going down, as you can see on the top right. Now Bradley once again back to 4 troop infantry trucks right now, 0 bazooka. So if you don't have bazooka when your opponent has 2 bazooka trucks down, this is just automatic push.
There's that second bomb drop from the anti-air. Even that is not enough against so many in the air pressuring. Both players still having 1 anti-air just in case there are a lot of planes coming out.
Yeah. And finally we see Bradley retaliating with this artillery unit on your right on the screen. This is what 8-Bits has been doing on his side. So finally, he is kind of getting revenge for doing that for so long. And because he got that artillery tank on the side to kind of damage the troop units, the infantry units, Bradley finally can come out from his base.
All those heavy ones are following up. Ninja stacking. I think Ninja's trying to stack up all of his heavy units first of all.
All right, we have the supply. There we go. The
Bradley picks it up.
All right, so now Bradley finally, this one artillery that you see here and the heavy tank on the left, this is what it has changed for Bradley and allowed him to come out, and another nuke landing on the side of 8-Bit Ninja this time. You see his tower HP going down a lot because of that nuke, and now Bradley is pressuring 8-Bit Ninja up his hill. Finally, we get to see the front of 8-Bit's base.
I think it's time where we see some more pressure in the tower taking damage. Not a major damage, but finally the lane pressure is actually coming directly.
Wow. A huge comeback right now. And even though Bradley lost one of the towers on his flank entrance, if 8-Bits loses a tower in the main lane, that's a lot bigger. That's going to allow Bradley to pressure a lot easier compared to what 8-Bits has brought down on the side of Bradley. So right now 8-Bits has to defend his main entrance like his life depends on it.
Oh yes, and those tank destroyers are going through with those artillery pressure, which both players started off doing, but later on as we had the game go on for a little longer, it's just switched into the heavy tanks. And then we didn't really see the artilleries coming out too much. And now we see them going back. Yeah, but look at that. Ninja bringing that tank destroyer. Just one shot snipes it.
Alright, so now 8-Bit's doing basically what SadlyItsBradley did before. He's producing a lot of units. 2 infantry trucks, 3 bazooka trucks. So now 8-Bit, in order for him to get out, he knows that he needs the macro, he needs the units, he needs the numbers. So that's how Bradley got out of his base with the flank artillery that is still alive. But now 8-Bit's kind of giving a taste of Bradley's own medicine right now.
And it's stacking one by one. And even the ones flying in the air, the dive bomber, both players actually focusing onto the tank sometimes because those tank destroyers are just way too powerful. We saw in one of the moments actually just having the fighter plane just diving into the base. If you see fireworks into the air, that basically means the fighter plane is not at the right place.
Seeing more air units coming out, especially on the side of 8-Bit Ninja. We have 4 already, 4 basic fighter planes roaming the air, just protecting basically his heavy tanks that are doing the flanking.
Yes, Bradley has a good setup by having 2 anti-air. I think having 1 on each side, it can just be enough against all the planes. But and one of the anti-air really low on HP, so that might be a little troublesome when it comes down to the amount of planes that Ninja has. And also 5 tank destroyers. Let's see where he chooses to go through them. I think he's stacking a lot of them inside his base. Will be a good time to nuke from Bradley.
Right, so just a couple moments ago we saw Bradley pressuring 8-Bits, but now once again we are back to the front of 8-Bits' base. I mean, sorry, the other way around. Bradley's base. 8-Bits got out of his base, and he was able to kind of subdue and stop Bradley from pushing his base. So we'll see how this counterattack.
Oh, Ninja with a sneaky attack into the tower. Might be the second tower going down. It seems like Bradley has focused on somewhere else.
Yep, he's not looking. There we go. He does look. He does see it. He's gonna send the tank destroyer, or rather the artillery, to get rid of that one heavy tank and
Yes.
that anti-air.
And that's basically how you outrange, but the artillery takes some amount of time to take down the tank destroyer, but the defensive one takes it down with just the first single shot. But that's 2 towers down for Bradley. But the other remaining towers, I think that's the important ones.
That is indeed right. That is the 2 towers up for Bradley for the main lane. But still, he's been focusing on the side, on the flank, but he should be really focusing on his main entrance right now. He's been getting pressure. He hasn't been able to get out. His basic infantry troop units that spawn has just spawned and died. So there's no numbers stacking up on the side of Bradley, whereas 8-Bit Ninja, you can see that he's constantly going from like 38 to 40 units back and forth with the 10 bazooka units, and the supply is just keep coming in for Ninja.
Ninjas keep on having the same strategy. Okay, tank destroyer, expensive, but so strong, powerful that I can break through. I'm destroying towers, okay? I can go to the side, catch Bradley off guard. But a different story for Bradley. Okay, I will keep space with my artillery and have a lot of anti-air against the planes. Let's have the setup first and then attack with the heavy.
Right, so now both of these players, you can see their hands. They're basically focusing on the flank lane. He doesn't want to get flanked right now. Bradley has the flank towers down, so if he really gets into the side lane, Bradley could be in huge trouble. This is why
and a big fight here.
Focusing.
And that anti-air is gone.
All right, so Bradley kind of focusing and using his resources to defend his flank because 2 of his towers on the side lanes are down for him.
And a lot more troops coming because Ninja's got a big setup with those bazookas. Slow, but over the time, I think it will, of course, help Ninja when he already has a tank destroyer again from the side. Bradley would love to have those ones move out a little closer to the lane, so that you want that space control until you reach the tower directly.
So you see this right now on your screen. This one artillery is just destroying all of 8-Bit's units. Yeah, like they're not all dying in one shot, but the health, but the nuke once again comes from Ninja.
Not really catching everything. And as long as they survive, they will keep on providing all the troops. So Bradley not really losing too much. Ninja, that was a big money spent.
All right, here we go.
It was 27-minute mark. As both players are really choosing to actually keep the same strategy. Let's see if we will actually have some difference coming. No more bombs coming down from the dive bomber. That's why both players somewhat focused to get rid of all those tanks.
Look at this. Bradley knows that this one artillery is keeping him alive. This one artillery, the moment this goes down with the 2 anti-air supporting it just in case for the bombers, you know, this one artillery will keep Bradley alive and prolong this game to go on a lot longer. If 8-Bit Ninja wants to get, kind of have a chance to finish this game and be able to push, he has to do something about that artillery on the side.
Yes, the pressure is real, and I think that's what we're going to have. And towers did take some damage. Bradley had some pressure, but going through all these straight up into the lane, that will take a lot of time. Ninja got 2 towers down and some more damage already into Bradley's towers, but what's remaining is the important one. And look at the amount of tanks, anti-air, the heavy tanks inside the base. That's, I think that was a call from Bradley right now, going for all those units.
Yep, there we go, the nukes.
Missile. Where is it gonna be?
Oh, it already went down in his base. So right now, I think nukes destroyed a couple of troop trucks maybe, and some of the basic foot soldiers that were coming out. We didn't get a great look, but like I said, this side right now, on the side of Bradley, the 2 tanks and artillery. If Ninja doesn't do something about this and he just stays here just doing the same thing, this game will not end. Right now, 8-Bits did get that extra money from the supply that dropped. That anti-air just standing on the mark will give a little bit of a for Ninja, but like I said, Ninja has to get rid of those side flank tanks that are stationed and has been causing so much problem for Ninja.
All those stationaries set up inside the base, you do want to get rid of them, but sending an air unit will be a suicide mission basically. That's why you just have to launch that big missile. We see that coming down. Let's see where Ninja wants to focus. He has been stacking up the numbers on the tank destroyers. Okay, they're not inside the base. They're set up on the high hill right in front. But they're not really defending too much. I think Ninja's just stacking right now.
See the bazooka units come out. They will get rid of the foot soldiers, and the bombs drop perfectly on top of that one.
Great dive bomber control there. And unfortunately, the tanks were stacked. You do not want to keep them stacked just like that because all those air units will attack them together.
Right now, we do see 8-bits stacking up these heavy tanks, like you said, 5 of them stacked. But those 3 that are on top of the terrain, they won't attack down unless it's an artillery tank. That's why I keep saying maybe just keep one artillery there for it to attack down. We have the one all the way in the back. You see, oh my gosh, the hand is too big.
The hand is too big, but that's where the players are focusing.
Yep.
Their attention is right there where the fight is at. Both players going a little heavier right now, putting down all the tanks.
All right, we do see 8-bits trying to get out of his base. He sends his tanks on the side. He has that extra anti-air on the flank.
Oh, Bradley knows.
Look at this. Yeah, he does know. They are once again getting ready for the fight on the sidelines.
Let's see Hetzers. But let's see how, because they're all stacked up.
Look at this.
I think the nuke is supposed to come on top. I think Bradley wants to push a little further.
Oh, the hand. Nope, yeah, I thought the nuke was gonna come onto this heavy tank, but I think it went into.
I think Ninja was thinking about the same thing.
Yeah.
But Bradley actually had another thought. Okay, because of that, Ninja's tank destroyers were stacked together, and with a lot less units, Bradley actually got his cost. This action keeps on happening. Good artillery setup from Bradley, of course.
Yeah, so while basically Bradley did a very huge mind game, so Ninja thought the nuke was gonna come onto his heavy tanks, but that's why he was backing out, which allowed Bradley to actually get control of the flank. In the meantime, the nuke dropped into 8-bit Ninja's base, getting rid of his troop trucks instead.
I think it's time to move out the artilleries a little further. It's okay to go outside the base because you can potentially, of course, outrange the tank destroyers a lot. But you might be finding yourself is that you have too many things to control outside of your base.
All right, Ninja dodged that bomber very well. We do see the bombers kind of going down. Good catch on the
you do have to control all those fighter BF 109s individually. And if you just let one versus one, they will just loop around forever sometimes. If you do not have your focus on it.
All right, Ninja is once again stacking on the flank, getting ready for that attack that he failed just before. We'll see if Ninja is able to push this side, because once Ninja gets control of Bradley's flank, that's basically game over. But you know, Bradley has been doing such a fantastic job defending this side right now. The attack is going through.
Yeah, Ninja is thinking about the same things. Okay, this worked before. I got some damage into the tower. I got 2 towers altogether. Might as well try once again. And at least this one to take the focus away, attention away from the other player. And this is not all because Ninja on the bottom of the screen says he has 5 tank destroyers. So having this set up on one side and keeping some others onto the left from the red side.
All right, but in the meantime, Ninja has to do something because the pressure is coming. Bradley is walking up his hill very soon. Even though all the bazooka units are being produced, Bradley is once again starting to pressure Ninja right in front of his base. Ooh.
All the bazookas are actually do quite a lot of damage towards the tank. So you do not really want to toss the tanks onto the lane. That will just be spilling money. Here we go, Ninja.
All right.
Bringing some action. He wants to get the anti-air first. And what follows from Bradley? I don't think the player doesn't really have too much exactly.
Oh my gosh, I think, yeah, finally 8-Bit gets rid of that one artillery that's been up that hill with the two anti-airs you see. It's finally destroyed. It's going to allow 8-Bit Ninja's bazooka units you see on the main lane. There's like a ton. There's like 13 of them walking up freely now, taking no damage. If this goes through, Ninja might be able to push through Bradley's front entrance.
Yeah, Bradley just lost one of that dive bomber as well. So a lot more lane pressure.
Gosh, now that defensive artillery is down, I don't know. Bradley definitely needs to produce a couple more to replace those tanks that have been blown up. If not, 8-Bit Ninja is going to keep pressuring like he is right now in front of his base. Look at the stacked bazooka units.
So no direct pressure from the artilleries anymore. Okay, Bradley's got one. Bradley just wants to set up.
Oh gosh.
How many bazooka is that from Ninja?
Yeah, that's stacked
it's about 10 plus.
Yeah, I think that's 10 plus.
And the tanks right behind, following it.
Oh my gosh. This is hell.
He wants to finish the game here, getting the tower damage directly.
He's gonna nuke. I think he wants to nuke the entrance where the artillery was. Look at him pull back. Oh! He knew the pullback was gonna happen and he predicted that.
That's perfect for Ninja because he wants to push into the towers, getting all those tanks that were defending that had to be moved. Moving in, Ninja with the tank destroyer, still pretty heavy. Dive bomber, good shot on them.
Oh
but the follow still.
That was huge. All of the towers are down.
Gone.
Now it's just for 8-Bit Ninja to push up. But Bradley is not gonna give up. He has his heavy tanks ready up on the hill, basically doing the job of his towers that has been broken. We will see if Bradley will be able to defend this because it looks pretty hard, but the two bombers and the troops on the flank are kind of causing trouble for 8-Bit, but it's not going to be huge.
Ninja spent that much to go all the way that far, got the towers down, but Bradley does have the time because Ninja ended up getting a lot of his units destroyed. So Bradley does have some time, but control from Ninja is amazing. Already having this great setup up on the hill. Two tank destroyers, anti-air. You can't really do too much about that.
All right, here we go. We do see the tank destroyers kind of fighting across the terrain right now, but Ninja's tank destroyer does go down. Here we go. This time Bradley gets that supply. He has full money. He's leaking. He's wasting a lot of money just now, even with that supply that he got. He should have spent everything first.
It's extremely hard when you have to control this many units and also spend money to look into the future. Of course, it's just a click away to get that menu on the shopping list for yourself.
Gotta be able to shop well, man. You can't just be looking. You can't window shop. Here we go now. It's just been going back and forth. Now Bradley, even though with his towers destroyed at his main entrance, he is pushing out right now. 8-Bit Ninja is getting pressured once again. It's been going back and forth, but Bradley has 6 true producing units, 4 bazooka trucks put down. 8-Bit Ninja 1 troop unit and 3 bazookas. So right now, in terms of basic units being produced, it's back to Bradley's side where he's gonna have the massive amount of numbers.
Really having that hit. Good artillery setup. 3 of them actually. Because if Bradley lost, sadly it's Bradley lost all the towers. Artillery will kind of act as the tower defense in his own base. So Ninja trying the similar thing once again, stacking all those together. The tank destroyers are going up the hill. And Bradley surely knows because he's got his defense set up. It's coming. Tension's adding on.
Okay. Now, like I said, Bradley, even with all his towers down, he is able to pressure Ninja right now. And Ninja ignoring the front. He's going to go. The flank action has begun.
And good micro. Ninja will keep on pushing.
With the artillery. That one artillery behind the rock.
And the dive bomber on top of those tank destroyers.
Oh. Get close and personal. Does get rid of that artillery, but he has taken too much damage. He has lost, I think, 3 to 4 tank destroyers.
Oh, even sending one of the motorcycle.
No!
Just for some more damage, but yeah, motorcycle doesn't really do too much damage as you can tell from the screen. It's mostly for picking up all those reinforcements, all the airdrops.
All right, well, with the numbers, like I said before, Bradley is able to push up the main entrance for 8-bits right now. The heavy tanks, it seems like they're just running over, but yeah, in this game, unfortunately, you don't run over people.
And Ninja really pressuring onto one few things together. He doesn't want to lose too much. His first tower went down. Surely, in terms of tower numbers, Ninja seems like he's winning. But in terms of units and the focus that Bradley has from all over the place, both players have to make a decision here. As their towers are going down, the units are all stacking up. There are too many.
There's way too many. There's 70 infantry units coming from Bradley right now. That is huge. Only 11 bombers. We've seen like 14, I think even up to 22 from Ninja before, but that was years ago. Right now, he's sending out just all the units possible, and I think that was an accident for sending out that anti-air. But Bradley, so much pressure coming from.
Yeah, even the dive bomber into the base of Ninja just to get some damage into the base.
Another nuke sent from Bradley.
I think one didn't make it.
It did.
With that slimmer of HP.
Oh, he's up the hill now. This is the easy part now. Getting up the hill is hard, but when you're already up the hill, you're done walking up and you're done sweating.
And Bradley made that possible with the nuke, just like how Ninja actually it's basically a copy of what Ninja just did about like 6-7 minutes ago. Having that nuke, making sure all the tanks are gone from the tower side.
Right now, the focus of both of these players, it's been 42 minutes. We don't get to see 40-minute games in Final Assault many times. But this is one of the cases. Bradley, you see his rally point arrows going through. He wants to get into his base and personal up in Ninja's face right now.
Just gotta go through. All those bazookas sometimes do have to get moved. As the time goes, great dive bomber.
Yeah.
Because of that base anti-air, you do end up losing it.
Yep.
But if all the tanks are stacked up like that, I think it might be worth to do one big damage into those clump of units together.
Definitely, it was worth it. I think he got a lot of hits on that heavy tank. But I see an artillery bomb coming through in the back. Yeah, you see that one artillery kind of causing problems, doing its best to defend for Ninja. But another nuke coming from Bradley. Right now, Bradley knows that 6 troop trucks and 3 bazooka trucks will do the work. So now he's just saving on money and just nuking.
Ninja actually moved out most of his expensive ones out of the way.
But I think that move, like you said, moving him out of the nuke, basically got them killed by the infantry units from Bradley.
And what do you want to have the setup here? As Bradley's really pushing, and along with this pressure, you want to make sure your tanks are following up, or at least having some better artillery setups. And Bradley has been using some artillery, and where are they? Just in a defensive mode?
Yeah, Bradley definitely has the artillery in the back. We saw the bombs come out, getting shot from artillery, but another nuke coming from Bradley. This is slowly going to buy time here. Yeah, he's nuking the backside to get rid of the tanks that are actually getting produced. You see the tanks where they're coming out from. Basically, Bradley just nuked the entrance of that place to buy him some breathing room for him to get up there.
And for all those troop units, it takes time. If you go onto the opposite side, the lanes will be free for Bradley's side. There's their artillery, it was just there the entire time.
Yeah, look at this. If you look at the money, right now Ninja is just busy producing, trying to defend. He brought out 5 bazooka troop trucks right now.
And lots of cheaper ones, defenders to defend. But is that really enough?
Well, if you notice, this one or these 2 bazooka trucks on the side flank is actually creating some room for Ninja to work with. You notice that Bradley's units in front of Ninja's base has dwindled down by a lot because of these bazooka units on the side. They are just killing and getting rid of every Bradley's units right now.
It's actually stacking them up, so the bazooka works better in terms of the area damage.
Oh my gosh. Ninja, I thought it was over for him, but now he has breathing room. He can save up money, but if you see Bradley, his money is just... he's just nuking. He's just saving money, nuking, saving money, and nuking. Whereas Ninja, he has to keep producing units that's being killed by Bradley, and once again another nuke comes down.
A few units for the cost. I think it was a good trade for Bradley. I think that's exactly what this player wants to focus on to finish this game. 46-minute mark.
If you notice all the... oh no, we just passed. But Bradley still has that 1 artillery unit. There we go. We see it on the left. That 1 artillery with that anti-air, that's been there for ages, and it actually attacks into Ninja's base. So any tanks stationed in the main entrance, it will go down. But look at these
just
4
like that.
Fighter units.
All those small Tiger ones.
Yep.
Are taking damage, so they can't really be too close out of the base at all. And Ninja, in this way, he's in trouble. The anti-air will actually falling back. Maybe Bradley does want to focus in just one big attack. There are a few more tanks following up.
The big stacked unit are coming, but Ninja has shot the nuke onto the side flank of Bradley, getting rid of some tanks here. But that isn't the important bit right now. The main entrance, look at the stacked bomb units. Just going all down by those tanks.
It's really coming down to an end. But the base basically most of the towers are gone. But the base pressure is actually, it was just about to happen with the bazookas, but good defense from Ninja. Ooh, 8-bit.
Oh, look at those artillery doing work. Yeah, right now 8-bit is also answering with artillery, but it does go down. We see Bradley's placements for these artillery units. I'm telling you, these artillery has massive range, and they are able to just open up.
Now pressuring
look at this!
He's about to pressure into the base, moving it a little closer on the hill. Taking that anti-air first and just moving it. Good micro defense. But the pressure is coming.
Oh gosh, look at all the bombers. We do hear the bombers coming from Bradley. He has 1. Probably wants to get rid of those tanks.
Is going into the base finally.
Look
for
at this.
Bradley's size. Or those bazookas have locked onto the base of 8-bit Ninja.
Oh gosh, just there's 1 heavy tank and 1 tank destroyer and the bazooka troop truck, but it does go down as I say that. Half health down.
Too many bazookas still now locking on once again. Here comes a tank destroyer from Bradley. But that is going to be it. Way too many troops and all that together.